in the bloody hell is going on? What's going on? Like, is there some meeting? Is there something going on in the Atlanta Falcons world that I'm not understanding, at what I'm not getting? There has to be. There got to be some evil trick. There got to be something I don't know. I've clearly missed the message. I've clearly missed the message. What's going on, people? Your boy, man, Mike, coming at you guys with yet another Atlanta Falcons video. Interesting subject matter at the helm. But what in the bloody hell is going on? Keyshawn, what's going on, brother? Dirty Bird, what's going on? How you doing? But what is going on, bro? Like, what? Something is going on in the world. Peace, what's going on? What the hell is going on? Is there some goddamn Michael Vick thong party that somebody done threw or something? Like, what's going on? What is going on? Sig, what's going on, brother? What is going on? So, I'm on social media doing my thing, looking for some ideas, video ideas for everybody. Falcons fans, NFL fans, all across. And all I just see is just Mike Vick. Michael Vick. Let me say it again. Mike Vick. Here it is, goddamn training camp, and I just see I see all these damn Mike Vick posts. Mike Vick. Oh my God, Michael Vick is the greatest thing to ever live. Oh my God, he's the greatest Falcon to ever live. If you saw Michael Vick, it's the greatest thing in Atlanta Falcon history. Oh my God, it's the greatest thing in Georgia history. Oh my God, Michael Vick. Oh, it's the time in the world that no Falcon fan will ever forget. Oh, good gracious of freaking life. Somebody need to tell man Mike something that he don't know. Please tell me there's some evil trickers. Somebody tell me why. Tell me what the hell is going on. Is there something that I want to? Is there something I missed? Because I could have sworn this was minicamp. I could have sworn there was active players days. I'm going on 92-9 the game. Decide they want to have a full flick off, okay? Let me say that again. 92-9 the game decided they wanted to have a whole lick off of Michael Vick. Car dude just goes on and he posts some stuff on Michael Vick. What the hell is going? Is there something about Mike Vick? Is this his birthday? Somebody tell me something. I need to know. Here we go, got Michael goddamn Penix, and we have a whole fucking lick off of Michael Vick. What is going on? Okay? Y'all see my goddamn eyes? Somebody tell me. What the hell's going on? I want to know. Are you kidding me? It's supposed to be damn Falcon minicamp, and we having a whole bust the service and bust the gut over Michael Vick. Everywhere. What is going on? We got news to report, but people aren't reporting the news because they about to bust it wide open on the floor like Glorilla in a Kirk Franklin video. We got Bijan Robinson, who's the greatest Falcon player, right? The most exciting Falcon player in this team, and we up here busting memory jokes about Michael Vick. We done seen the same 10 highlights for over 20 years. But guess what? We reporting on Michael Vick. And you wondering why people hate Atlanta Falcons content creator? Y'all really wondering why they hate him. I got videos that I'm working on, what I will be dropping today. But no! I get 20 goddamn posts about Michael Vick. I want to just take a small pause to say Noah Brown, I hope he's okay. He was carted off the field at Commanders minicamp, so just shout out to him for that. Never want to see that type of stuff. But Noah Brown carted off the field, hope he's okay. But at that wide receiver, Noah Brown, like I said, hope he's okay, but you never want to hear that type of stuff. Good gracious of life. We should be talking about what Kirk Cousins is going to be for this Atlanta Falcons. Is he really going to be a true teammate to Michael Penix to help him get up to speed? And I really do hope. I have no problem with Kirk being a backup, but I just want Kirk to do it the right way. Okay, y'all can throw some questions in there. It doesn't have to be NFL. If you're NFL fans, man, welcome to the channel. You know, like I said, your respective team, throw it in there, bro. We'll talk about it. But like we gotta get our stuff. Like, this is the Atlanta media for you. This is Atlanta media for you. We got guys like Jace McClellan. He's another one of those guys that I'm looking at. I'm looking at this Falcons roster, and shout out to Christy because she asked me to do a breakdown of that Atlanta Falcons roster. So I'm going to do that because, like, we're about to bust a damn nut over Michael Vick. This dude ain't even on. He ain't a part of a freaking team. He came to look, the dude came to camp to OTAs. He got his own team. Y'all not here to report for Norfolk State. Like, what are we doing? Y'all here to report on the Atlanta Falcons. What is good at 92-9 game to have reports on the Atlanta Falcons if you damn pouring on damn Michael Vick? What the freak? Are you kidding me? I'm saying up there, they having a whole jerk-off fest for dang Mike Vick. And like I said, this I love Mike Vick just like the rest. Just like any other person would love Michael Vick, man. Also, I just want to kind of give y'all up, like if y'all have not gotten that Madden Reserve, that Madman, there's a link right here in the product. So if y'all see those links on there, and y'all do some online shopping or whatnot, just go ahead and hit that link, man. If you are obviously if you're a subscriber to the channel, man, you want to do some online shopping. Why are you doing here? Do it through Mad Mike Sports. Everything that you guys do from these links goes into helping build this channel and build Atlanta Falcon Nation, all that. So we do get a cut out of all that. So if y'all could do y'all shopping right here through Atlanta Falcon Nation, Mad Mike Sports, it goes to help us. So just want to say that before I get down to these rosters. But this is one of my frustrations when it comes down to Atlanta Falcons content. Like, creators, man, like, well, what are we doing, bro? Like, what are we doing? We're supposed to be we're supposed to be in minicamp, but we're up here talking about freaking, like, we really up here talking about damn Michael Vick and what he did. Man, how many goddamn times we gonna share the same stories about Mike Vick? For we realize, oh, guess what? Oh, the Falcons do have other quarterback. These quarterbacks are on the roster. So again, I'm gonna get this brief. Well, it won't be a brief, but I'm gonna just try to go through as fast and give my expectations. Shout out to Christy Lewis, aka Mr. Bird, Mr. Bird Lady, the AKK Lady Bird of AFN. Shout out to you for this. I did not forget. I just wanted to do it the proper way, and I'm gonna get my undivided attention. So shout out to Christy for this video. But yeah, the hell, like, it's not hell with Mike Vick. I don't get it. Don't get it twisted. I love Mike Vick just like all of us. All right, we love Mike Vick. But this is about this team right now. It's 2025, bro. Like, we should be looking at Penix. Okay? We should be worried about Penix. So, all right, so this is Atlanta Falcon roster, and I'm gonna just go down position, obviously positions, and just get my takes on it. Real quick takes. Kirk Cousins. I think the story with Kirk Cousins is obvious. Will he be Atlanta Falcon for the most part? He said his intentions for the Atlanta Falcons to be the best backup and to be the best teammate for Michael Penix this year. And I think it's a great situation for Michael Penix, to be honest. He gets to learn, he gets to see it from a veteran, and Kirk Cousins is a guy that can still put up some decent numbers. You know, if you're looking at him to go 17 games or anything that, anything like that, he obviously got the shoulder, he got the Achilles and ankle, the lower leg injury. So that's something to think about as far as that is concerned. But Kirk Cousins being with the Atlanta Falcons, I think it's the best thing for a guy like Michael Penix to learn from. No, it's no better guys in the NFL that's going to be able to teach you the things, the success and the failures. Because obviously we've seen, the best of both worlds with Kirk Cousins, with the Atlanta Falcons, and when he was with the Washington Redskins. I'm not saying no fucking Commanders, ain't go to hell with that. But when he was with the Washington Commanders, he played with, he battled it out with RG3. RG3 was drafted, obviously, but Kirk Cousins was drafted in the third round, I believe it was third round pick. So he had to work his way to the top. So look, that's just good. This is a perfect situation for Michael Penix to be able to learn from a guy like that. You got Emory Jones. I don't think he'll make it, but he's one of those guys on the practice squad that you can kind of allow him to do certain things as far as the scout team is concerned. Get those guys ready for mobile quarterbacks, because this NFL, we're going to see a lot of plays where a lot of quarterbacks going to be moving in the pocket. In the NFL, like I said, with the RPO and things of that nature, with quarterbacks being used as more in the running game now, you're going to see a lot of that. So Emory Jones is another one of those guys. Michael Penix Jr., the big thing on Michael Penix Jr. Can he be a consistent pass game quarterback for the Atlanta Falcons? I think one of the things for me personally, I say this all the time, Michael Penix is going to be a completely different quarterback than what we've seen. Where he's not Mike Vick, he's not Matt Ryan, but he's a combination of both of those guys. Why? Because he can stand in the pocket and he can move outside of my pocket and make plays with his legs. We haven't seen that in Atlanta. We have not seen that in Atlanta. We've seen it briefly with Matt Ryan, where he can stand in the pocket and occasionally move in the pocket and make some plays with the leg. But this Michael Penix, he has the ability to do both. And we haven't seen that with Michael Vick. We only saw the Michael Vick here in Atlanta. We didn't get to witness the Michael Vick in Philadelphia. So that's another good thing. Easton Stick is another one of those guys. You're going to see if he's going to be a valuable backup. Can he be a valuable backup and be that third quarterback, possibly a backup if a guy like Kirk Cousins is traded? Tyler Algier, the word on him is a lot of people expecting him I'm obviously going into his last year of his contract. This is going to be the year for him. This is going to be a big year for Tyler Algier because if he comes up, put up some big time numbers, and he really showcases what he can do in the time frame that he is expected to do. And like I said, he put up 600 yards, so this guy's no screw up. So the question with Tyler Algier is whether or not, for me personally, is he going to be able to expand his game as a pass receiver? Because a guy like Michael Penix is going to get the ball out of his hand. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. We know what he can do as a running game, but my focus with Tyler Algier is going to be more of him as a receiver. We got a guy, a rookie, Nate Carter. Don't know too much on him, but he's going to be one of those guys. Obviously, a rookie from Michigan State, but he's going to be one of those guys who can keep a close eye on. Can he make the team, as well as Elijah Dotson? Jace McClellan is a guy that they drafted from Alabama. Obviously, I think you look at his skill set in its entirety, inside or outside zone running scheme. Also, he can catch the ball out of the backfield a little bit more athletically inclined, closer to Bijan Robinson than Tyler Algier is. So he's one of those guys, Carlo Washington Jr. He's another one guy that we're looking to make the roster. We have Jamal Agnew is another one of these guys. You look at him, he's excuse me. Jamal Agnew is one of those guys too. When you look at him as a special teams, he's made his bones in special team. A kick returner, punt returner. I know the NFL with the kick return, they're trying to get teams to not kick the ball out of the backfield so much, right, for touchbacks and whatnot. So they're trying to get that. They're trying to get that back. So a guy like Jamal Agnew might be a little bit more important in the NFL game right now this year, especially with the NFL trying to get them to teams to kick the ball and increase the kick returns and whatnot, bring that element. Chris Blair is another one of those wide receivers, 27 years old. He has some chemistry with Michael Penix, so you look at that and whether or not he's going to be able to make this team. Dylan Drummond is another one of those guys, Eastern Michigan, and whatnot. He's 6 feet, 190, so he's one of those guys that's on the bubble. Kadero Hodge is a special team god. He's clearly going to make it. Drake London for me, man, I'm looking at him for touchdowns. I'm not looking for him for a bunch of another 100-yard catch. I'm not looking for that. I know what Drake can do. I know he can catch the ball, but me personally, I don't want the ball in the hands of Drake London that much. I wanted to keep it around 75 to that 85 mark. I think that's perfect for what this Atlanta Falcons offense, and I'll explain that later, going down the roster. But I'm not looking at Drake London to have a huge season where he has 100 plus. I think that is not good for the Atlanta Falcons offense. Again, I'll explain that in detail later. But I'm looking for Drake London to be one of those guys that has more touchdowns. We need more touchdowns, so we need a red zone threat. That's what I'm focused on for Drake London. Jesse Matthews, another one of those guys. Been there, camp body, not too much. Don't foresee him making the roster, but these guys, they can make their way to the practice squad. Probably a future deal or anything like that. Ray-Ray McCloud. I'm looking for his receptions to go down, him to be a little bit more of a deep threat this year. Don't want him to be one of those guys. He's like a possession receiver, putting the ball in his hands, whatnot. I need him to be more of an explosive guy, a down the field guy to help Michael Penix with that. So explosiveness with Ray-Ray McCloud, and not so much just throwing the ball to him for whatever reasons. Darnell Mooney, another one of those guys. I think you just look at him. He can make the play down the field. I think that's another guy. Ray-Ray McCloud, Darnell Mooney down the field. Not really looking at those guys to be possession receivers going into this year. So Darnell Mooney, I would like to see more touchdowns from him. I think for me personally, it's going to be anywhere from 5 to 8 touchdowns for Darnell Mooney. I think he's a solid number 2 receiver behind Drake London, but he can be one of those guys that can make plays in the middle of the field because he's such a great route runner. Nick Nash is another one of those guys. You look at him. you look at him, triple crown guy. This dude can just he made plays in college, so it's going to be really interesting to see what he can do. Makai Polk, Mississippi State, he's on there. David Steels. A lot of these guys are not going to be. Quincy Skinner. A lot of people are looking at Quincy Skinner as a guy that could quite possibly make some plays. I know in college that he was more of a deep threat and a big play guy. Casey Washington, looking at him and what he can do. Is he going to be that possession receiver that a guy like Michael Penix is going to be able to utilize? We will see. Felipe Franks, you look at him, I think he's going to be, if he's going to be on the Atlanta Falcons roster, he's going to be a tight end. We got a couple of guys on here, count bodies for the most part, the Nikolai Kalanick, Kyle Pitts. For me, looking at Kyle Pitts, I think for me personally, when I look at Kyle Pitts, I'm just looking at a guy that can be a possession receiver and get touchdowns. I want big plays from Drake London and Kyle Pitts. So don't really focus on too many, receptions, numbers, yards, and all that. I just want to see touchdowns from these guys because I think the Atlanta Falcons offense, if they're going to be a great team, Drake London and Kyle Pitts have to be red zone targets. So for me, red zone for Kyle Pitts and red zone for Drake London. Tegan Caratino, I don't know how the hell you say that name, but he's been one of those guys. Played at Oregon State quite a while back. A big body. We'll see how that goes. Joshua Simon, South Carolina, rookie, has a lot of qualities and a lot of similarities to a guy like Kyle Pitts. So if he can, if a guy like Kevin Koga, if he can help develop him, that'll be another guy like a Kyle Pitts that they can kind of, with the big body, the ability to catch the ball out of the yards after catch. He's another one of the guys. Charlie Warner, obviously, Charlie Warner speak for himself. He's our big body blocker. You have the guard, Matthew Bergeron. Bergeron is just, I think for Bergeron, for me, man, I think I'm going to be looking at him to be one of those guys that can step his game up and go to a Pro Bowl. I want to see if he can step his game up and, become an elite left guard. We got a guy like Michael Gonzalez, a rookie guard from Louisville. We'll break down that later, but Joshua Gray, another one was Oregon State guard, 6'5", 299. They got a lot of big guys, a lot of tall guys that go along. So I think for the most part, you like a Joshua Gray. He'll probably be one of those guys that put on a good 5 or 10 more pounds. Being with it, Javon Gwynn is another one of those guys, a guard, 6'2", 310, South Carolina, third year. This is a make or break year. Kyle Hinton, another one of those guys, a make or break year. For him, he's done a pretty good job as a backup guard for the Atlanta Falcons. Chris Lindstrom is just the best guard in the league. And I've been saying that for the last 2 to 3 years that this dude is an absolute monster. And Chris Lindstrom, Ryan Nuzzel becoming the starting center for the Atlanta Falcons, signed a 2 to 3 year deal for him. So he'll be with the Atlanta Falcons for a couple of years or so, but will it be enough for him to replace Drew Darby? We'll see. Jake Matthews going into his 12 years in the league, so and he's still going hard. Jake Matthews, Caleb McGarry, been one of the most improved tackles in the league, in my opinion. That dude is just a freaking monster with him and Chris Lindstrom on their right side of the field. So just consistency as far as Caleb McGarry is concerned. Jack Nelson is one of those guys too. You can throw him all across the line. So I'm really interested in where Jack Nelson, where he's going to fall in line there. You got Storm Norton, solid backup for him. Going to look for the exact same thing for him to be a quality right tackle for a guy like Caleb McGarry. If he goes down, not worried about him. Brandon Parker, another one of those veteran guys that can be a backup tackle for either Matthews, but more likely it'll be McGarry. Don't really see him making the team. Tyron Wheatley, another one of those guys. Looking at him for the most part, not gonna see a lot of guys. Elijah Wilkinson, good gracious, that dude's still in the league. Elijah Wilkins, Jordy Williams, another guy from Georgia Tech, Jordan Williams. Thought he was a pretty good tackle. Obviously, they come from a system in Georgia Tech where these guys actually run the ball, so he's going to fit in well. You look at Falcons got some pretty good weird guys. So you got a guy like Simeon Barrow Jr. From Miami. He's one of those guys they're gonna be looking at. Leonard Floyd. I think for the Falcons, for me personally, looking at Leonard Floyd, I think he's gonna be one of those guys that me personally just get anywhere from. I think the magic number for me is 5 to 10. If you can get within that, it's a success for me because we've had enough of these we've had enough of older edge guys coming in and not putting in the work. So if he can get anywhere from 6 to 10, 5 to 10, in my opinion, I think this is a win. And just help teach these guys, the Jalen Walker and whatnot, those guys to learn how to get after the quarterback. But so far, when I was looking at Jalen Walker, I'll get to that. But Jalen Walker been, he been making some noise. He's exactly who he thought he was. Morgan Fox, again, one of those guys that can put up 5 sacks or so. So just looking at for him. Zach Harrison's another guy that I'm looking at to, establish himself. They're going to put him back on the edge. They don't want him inside. So he's going to be one of those guys that can he help fulfill or get his can he feel his potential? We will see. But Zach Harrison is another one of those guys that I'm looking really good. Laquel London, they put some weight on him. He's 6'3", 330 pounds, so he might be that big guy that we need in the middle to help this defense stop the run. Brandon Dorless is another one of those guys I'm looking at personally. You look at him, size 6'3", 265, 295, for Oregon. Another big body that can beat that. I guess 3 tech in certain situations, you can put him on the outside. So it's going to be real interesting. They do with Brandon Doris. Taquan Graham is another one of those guys, same size, about the same size Brandon Doris. Big, long, defensive end / defensive tackle. You can move those guys around on the inside and the outside. So Taquan Graham coming back to Atlanta Falcons. David Onyemata, if he's going to be that solid veteran for the Atlanta Falcons that we're going to need since we've released a Grady Jarrett. He's going to be really interesting to watch. Rook Ororo, will he be the new Grady Jarrett? Is he going to be the guy that when we need to not only stop the run, but get after the quarterback from the inside? You got to have this disruptor. So I think Rook Ororo is going to be the guy for me personally. I just need pressure. That's all I need. I know he can stop the run. He has the physical skills, 6'4", 295. So he's about the same size, a lot taller than Grady Jarrett, but a lot taller. So he'll be able to get his hands up and, bat those balls down. Kentavious Street, another one of those guys, inside pressure. You can get after the quarterback, so I'm not worried about him. Troy Anderson, the linebacker core. Can he stay healthy? That's the number one thing, because if he can stay healthy, I think this dude is going to be able to bring an element to this Atlanta Falcons defense with a coach like Jeff Ulbrich at the helm. They're going to be doing some great things, especially with Raheem's scheme and his zone blitz scheme. It's going to be real interesting to see what he does with that. J.D. Bertrand, I know a lot of people are not really high on him, but I am. I like his physicality and what he brings to that linebacker core. Divine Diablo, we're going to need a guy that's going to be able to cover from that linebacker position. So I'm going to be looking really at that. Honor Ebiketie, this is your last time, bro. You putting up some decent numbers, but I personally believe that you can really be a pretty good edge rusher for not only Atlanta Falcons but any NFL. If you just stay consistent, man. So my thing was Honor Ebiketie, just be consistent. Caden Ellis, the dude is just a pro's pro. I think this is the last year for Caden Ellis because we have so many guys, the Pierce, the Walkers, J.D. Bertrand, the Divine Diablo. They don't have a lot of guys they're going to be, and plus the money for Caden Ellis is another one of those guys. Another one of those things. You look at Nick Kibitz, He's one of those guys too, young linebacker that could quite possibly make the team, but we got to see what he's going to be at. D'Angelo Malone, they moving him to the middle linebacker positions as well as playing outside, so going to be able to do some things. He's 25 years old. He's been in the league for 4 years, so you definitely have the athleticism, definitely have the ability to do some things. And James Pierce Jr. is another one of those guys you look at from Tennessee. I say he's a lot like Javon Curse. Just me personally. I love what I'm seeing from him. And just the length, 6'5", 240. Look, this dude 240, 250 pounds, 6'5". That dude got a lot of length and a lot of athleticism. So I'm really looking for this dude to be an absolute record on this. I'm talking about game record on this Atlanta Falcon, because the length, the size, the athleticism to go along with it. I'm looking for big things for Pierce this year. Braylon Trask coming back from a torn ACL is another one of those guys. He's going in his second year. I think the Atlanta Falcons could have a sleeper here. And I mean a sleeper in regards to the edge rusher that a lot of people have may have forgotten about. But he can come in and do some things. He's a lot more physical than athletic, so I think it's perfect for him, especially coming back from a torn ACL. He'll be able to be a little bit more physical until he get the confidence in there and know what he can and cannot do. Jalen Walker, I'm having a lot of good things with Jalen Walker, especially the leadership skills. Raheem said earlier today. I think you look at that for the most part. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens there with Jalen Walker. But in the clips that I've seen, Jalen Walker, man, this dude has just been a freaking menace. And like I said, man, he's exactly what I thought he was coming from the University of Georgia. D. Alford, don't know what it's going to be, what it's going to look like with him in that slot position. We got a lot of guys, the Billy Bowman Jr., he's one of those guys that really looking to take that spot. Natron Brooks, another one of those guys, don't really see him making the team because it's so deep and so many guys that is pushing to be on this squad, especially at their cornerback position, like Kobe Bryant. Kobe Bryant's another one of those guys. He got a lot of confidence. He has the ability, but we will see in regards to that. So Kobe Bryant is one of those guys too that I'm going to keep a close eye on him, because if he is who he say he is and who I think he could be, the Falcons will have something interesting. Mike Ford Jr., I think for the most part, he's a special teams ace along with Cordell Haas, and so he's going to be really interesting. Mike Hughes, can he be consistent and stay healthy, or do the Atlanta Falcons got to put a guy like Kobe Bryant, develop him, or we got Clark Phillips the third and, put him on the outside rather than inside? I think the Falcons are going to, put him on the inside and the slot position. So he's going to be good. Still got a guy like Lamar Jackson. Don't really see him making the cornerback. Don't really see him making the team, but that could be in. Dante Manning was another one of the guys who went out there inside. We brought in from Oregon, a pretty good corner, a pretty athletic corner, 5'10", 190 for Oregon. So he's going to be fighting for he's going to be fighting for his life too. Clark Phillips III, man, I think you put him in the middle of the field where he can be athletic. I think he got some damn good ball skills. So put him in a slot hit where he can be active and get around. It's going to be real interesting with Clark Phillips III. AJ Terrell, obviously, in my opinion, one of the best corners in the league. It's going to be really interesting to see if he's going to take his game to the next level, or he's just going to be consistent where he's always. Look, that dude is worth every fucking dime. AJ Terrell is worth every fucking dime. And I'm not really one of those guys that like to pay a lot of cornerbacks, top dollar, because they don't get a lot of interceptions. Me personally, I wasn't for giving AJ Terrell, but when a guy is consistent, you can't argue that. Okay, yeah, you want turnovers, but consistency from that cornerback position is where that, and it's not many guys in the league that is better than AJ Terrell. Jesse Bates, can he repeat what he's been? In my opinion, arguably one of the best, if not the best, safety in the league right now. This dude is an absolute playmaker. I thought he should have been considered a lot more for the defensive player of the year, but being that he is the Atlanta Falcons and the media can go to absolute hell, Jesse Bates doesn't get the credit that he deserves. But this dude is definitely, in my opinion, the best safety in the league. Billy Bowman Jr., they got him listed as a safety, so don't know if they're going to try to turn him to that slot guy. I think they're going to use him as a slot guy, but you could quite possibly see him battle it out for that free safety right along with Jordan Fuller, who brought in from the Rams. He's familiar with the system with a guy like Raheem Morris, so he'll be able to fit right in with this Atlanta Falcons team. So that's really interesting. Looking at this Atlanta Falcons secondary, DeMarco Hellens coming back from a injury. It's going to be real interesting to see what he can provide for this Atlanta Falcons. Are they going to use him as a slot guy? Are they going to use him as a safety, a strong safety position where he can be more physical? You got guys like Josh Thompson. Ooh, I forgot about this dude on the team, but they got a lot of guys. Xavier Watts, obviously, being one of those guys. It's going to be real interesting to see what he can provide for with his skill set. Obviously, being one of the top safeties coming out of this draft, the Atlanta Falcons could quite possibly put him at that free safety. So the Atlanta Falcons got a lot of options in regards to the team. Younghoe Koo coming back from a hip injury. Will we get the same consistency from Younghoe Koo, or we're going to be seeing the young place kicker and Lenny Craig for the Atlanta Falcons? Are we going to see Lenny Craig as the kicker for the Atlanta Falcons? We will see. Bradley Payne is coming back, Liam McCullough, all those guys. But that's been a quick rundown. That's been a quick rundown of this Atlanta Falcons roster. So if you guys don't have any questions right now, yeah, man. Like I said, man, this is what we're going to continue to do. Y'all continue to drop those comments as time continues to go on. But yeah, the Atlanta Falcons team and roster is going to be real interesting this year. But we got some other things. Let me see if I got anything. If y'all don't have any questions right now, look on there. We got some stupid. So Cam Jordan. Oh Lord. Yeah, let's just forget Cam Jordan just did anything. All right. Yeah, Cam Jordan up here wearing wigs, y'all. Believe that or not, Cam Jordan is out here wearing wigs. So that's really interesting in itself. But again, Atlanta Falcons fans, continue to support you guys here at Mad Mike Sports, man. We're going to continue to put out this content, NFL content. Again, NFL content. This is not just an Atlanta Falcons a channel, all right? This is NFL. This is sports related. So any sports, we do a lot of wrestling content. So if you got a wrestling fan, hit that subscribe button. Tell your people, all right? Tell your people if they love wrestling themselves, this is the channel for you. And that's all I got to say about that, man. But shout out to Christy Lewis for the idea for this particular live show. And again, this was all about Mike Vick. Okay, let me just say this before I cut it down. I shut it down, but we just got to stop. Okay, we got to stop this bullshit. We have to stop it. Can we get over it already? I don't get it. Like, Deion Sanders don't even matter in this franchise no more. Because our head so far up his rectum, Deion Sanders don't even matter. He don't even matter. He's a fucking afterthought in Atlanta. Deion Sanders is one of the only reasons why people even cared about Atlanta Falcons. And he's a freaking afterthought because these Vickalitis dudes just can't get over the fact that a Negro can run fast. Do I have to do this again and again and again? Every time I turn on the day, we got 4 or 5 people up here busting a dang on nut because Michael Vick, oh my God, Michael Vick, oh, he's the greatest thing to ever land. He's the greatest, oh my God, he's the greatest thing. Oh my God, it was so exciting to come to the Atlanta Falcons and we never saw anything like this. Yes, we did. It's called a championship. We had a championship not only with the Atlanta Braves, exciting. It tore the damn city apart. The city, look, won in damn 95. This city goddamn shut down. Braves won the damn World Series. Shut down the whole damn city. The Atlanta Braves not only won it in 95, and they won it again with the great Freddie Freeman, one of the best seasons in Braves history, because those guys were called the cardiac kids. Every time you thought they was down, they came back. We got the Georgia Bulldogs who done went back. Like, these guys have won championships, and guess what? It don't matter. It doesn't matter because we are so infatuated with Michael Vick and how it makes me feel the way you're making me feel. You really turn me up. Y'all motherfuckers are getting turned on by Michael Vick highlights. We've seen the same highlight for 30 years. How many times are we going to look at and say Michael Vick, oh my God, ooh, baby, ooh, Michael Vick, ooh. How many times are we going to look at Michael Vick fucking highlights and go back and tell, we like some old ass 95-year-old, 100-year-old, not to say nothing bad about y'all, but we like the old grumpy couple that talking about what we did back in the day. God damn. I'm tired of every time I turn on the Atlanta Falcons anything, they got somebody up here busting nut over Michael Vick. We know he won against Green Bay. Motherfucker, we was there. We saw it. We saw the run in Minnesota. It was on fucking national TV. We saw it. We saw him in the videos. We saw him at the damn clubs. We saw him at the airport. We know. How about we give Junebug that same energy? Mr. Carl Dukes in 99, whatever the hell, 92-9 the game. How about y'all put that same energy in that guy that you put in Michael Vick? Oh, you probably don't want to do that because he don't run around in circles like he goddamn Tasmanian devil. Like, are we kidding me? We're supposed to be giving the Atlanta Falcons fans everything that they need. We supposed to be giving them guys every little bit they need. Every little step you take, we will be there. Every little step I take, we'll be together. That's how you motherfuckers is. Y'all up here singing New Edition songs to Michael Vick. Every little step I take, ye will be there. Sorry about that Bobby Brown. Y'all, but he's still New Edition, same thing. God damn. Like, Jesus Christ. Turbo, bro, I'm sorry to say this. Like, it hurts my soul to say this. It hurt my soul. It hurts my soul. But these motherfuckers are worse than Jordan and LeBron fans. We can't sit down for 2 seconds without somebody motherfucker coming in with them old ass, regular ass goddamn Vic jersey they bought in 2000. I can't have a damn conversation about Falcon quarterback without bringing up goddamn Mike Vick. Margarita, don't come in here starting stuff. I want to scream and yell, woman. Okay, I'm having a moment, Margarita. Good show, ma'am. Okay, Ladybirds AFN. Check it out. But goddamn it, I want to have fun with Atlanta Falcons fans and team without busting a goddamn number 7 bubble gut on myself, because we got to talk about Mike Vick. It started when we were younger. You were my boo-boo. Keyshawn, don't, Look, sir. We're not doing that, yo. Look, y'all. I'm tired. Boss. I'm tired. No more Michael Vick talk, please. Okay? No more. I can't do it. I can't do it. Okay? I can't do it. So how about Dallas Cowboy? Oh my God. See, Dallas Cowboy is a whole nother level. Every year they're gonna win a Super Bowl. I mean, look, we can ignore them though. They look, Dallas Cowboy fans, look, they've been saying the same thing for 30 years. At some point in time, look, no, everybody started ignoring them. Vic wasn't perfect, but I'm a Falcons fan because of him. So for me, I don't mind Vic talk. Now, I'm not saying that. Look, let's talk about how his game is, not about how he make you feel, okay? Like, what are we talking about? Every time Michael Vick is the greatest, best thing. John, how you doing? He's the greatest thing to ever. Oh my God, bro. It's when they talk about Mike Vick is the problem. It's not Michael Vick. It's when they talk about Mike Vick, they don't even refer to the game. They don't talk about the games and how he had a chemistry with Algie Crumpler, the chemistry with guys like Brian Finneran. Like, you don't even talk about those guys. No, you want to talk about, he made me feel like I was at Freaknik. Huh? Yeah, people have actually said that. That Mike Vick made them feel like they was at a Freaknik at the Dome. Freaknik in a public at a public game shouldn't be some word that you be talking about. Like, I just want people to refer to Mike Vick for his game. And I'm talking about his game in his entirety. And I'm not just here just talking about, the Atlanta Falcons. Like, talk about what he was with the Philadelphia Eagles and how he really transformed his game. He became the quarterback at Philadelphia that we thought we got it, but we didn't get it, as obviously in his excuse me. But we didn't get that in his prime. We didn't get to see that. And that's unfortunate. Football guy, how you doing, sir? But the thing is, like I said, it's not Michael Vick while I'm having this conversation. It really isn't, because, like I said, one of my first games was obviously Mike Vick. Coming and seeing Mike Vick. So that was one of my games. First game that I had. So absolutely Mike Vick deserves all the praise and adulation, but they're talking about things that have nothing to do with football, like how they make you feel. Oh, he was so excited, and he blew this whole city up. He made the city that look like okay. All right, we get it. We get it. Let's talk about Mike Vick and his chemistry with Deshaun Jackson. What's the other wide receiver that they had there? Let me say this though, because I'm glad that I'm on this, because one of the things, like, I don't know if anybody ever took it this route. I look, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think anybody ever said this about Vick. If Michael Vick was in this generation of football, he'd be the greatest quarterback in the NFL history. I don't have any fucking doubt in my man. If he was born in this generation, right now, from 20 to 25, Michael Vick would be the greatest quarterback in NFL history. I have no doubts at my mind. Because the game is so much more simpler like now. They're running a lot of spread, and that was the same things and the same principles. Ironically, one of the greatest coaches of all time, in Andy Reid, he was employing with the Philadelphia Eagles, and they was just getting started with Michael Vick. Unfortunately, he had the knee injuries and whatnot that kind of derailed him. Obviously, going to prison for a couple, 16 months. It wasn't even 2 years, but 16 months, 15 months, whatever the case may be. But he went there, went to jail, came out, suffered a lot of injuries with the Atlanta Falcons, and like I said, me personally, a lot of my Falcon contemporaries. I know Sam hear me say this, he gonna bust a damn vein in the head. But I believe that Michael Vick would be the greatest quarterback in NFL history had he been in this generation. The rules that they're playing on with these quarterbacks, the athleticism, like the dude already, look, you talking about the spread. They weren't running a lot of those RPO takes. They weren't running a lot of RPO with the Eagles. They weren't doing that. But guys like Jalen Hurts, a lot of these quarterback with these quarterback reads, the option reads. We seeing guys like Kyler Murray, Caleb Williams, the quarterback with Denver right now escapes me. But we see a lot of these guys already running these concepts. And I'm telling you right now, none of those guys are on a level athletically and have the ability to throw the ball like Mike Vick. None of these guys have that ability that Mike Vick has. And I'm talking about athletically and the ability to throw. You wouldn't be able to stick with a guy like Mike Vick with that athleticism. Especially right now, when the rules are different, because when Mike Vick was playing, you could still hit the quarterback. You could still knock him out. You could still be physical with him. You could be physical with the Mike Vick back then. But now, with quarterbacks, like Keyshawn said, you can't touch a quarterback without getting a penalty now. Picture Michael Vick playing in those rules, man. This dude will be the greatest quarterback in history without a doubt. You talk about a guy with 20 touchdowns just rushing along. He would be the first quarterback to ever have a 30 and 20 touchdown season. I believe that. Yeah, Keyshawn said Vic, Jay said Vic and the RPO system would have been, look, it's sick. And I think him being in the college game is definitely going to help a lot of the quarterback, because he's going to have to, he knows how to teach these guys. And obviously being with a guy like Dan Reeves, who knows he's an offensive guy himself. And then you got the late, great Greg Knapp, who's able to teach him. And you got Andy Reid. Those are some of the three best minds, coaching minds offensively in NFL history. And now he's able to pass that knowledge to these guys. Yeah. Deion put the team on the map. Nobody in Falcons. I mean, like I said, that's the thing that I got when people say about Vic. Is just like it was just y'all try to act like Deion didn't even like he meant nothing to the city, which is fucking crazy. When you talk about the attitude, the swag, fuck Vic in this situation. That swag belongs to prime time. He started this shit. Him and Jerry Glanville started the swag. So all this shit they talking about, no. Vic had swag, but that damn prime time was it. That damn Jerry Glanville was it. Y'all need to do y'all research on Glanville if you don't know. That motherfucker, Jerry Glanville, they give a fuck. He's the reason why the NFL is being, look, if you look at, I'll say this. Jerry Glanville is the most influential coach in NFL history right now. Why? Why do I say that? We were running run and shoot. We were running spread concepts. The grits blitz. Sending everybody out like he was doing this they were doing this in the 70s, bro. When he was a coach. He came out with that. All these defenses, aggressive defenses, the 2000 Baltimore, they got all that shit from them. The 85 Bears, they were influenced by the grits blitz, bro. The spread offense, that's Jerry Glanville and June Jones. So, like I said, Gabriel, how you doing, sir? I'm not gonna lie, Mike. I'm legit getting pissed off at media thinking we'll go 7-10. Well, I think that's ignorant, to be honest. Just looking at the division, I just don't think the division is very good. I don't think the Panthers are going to be very good defensively. I think they've took a great step backwards in regards to that defensive front. Derrick Brown is coming off of an injury himself, and he's the heart and soul of that defense. You don't know how he's going to return. The secondary isn't great themselves. So look at the Saints. They got a lot of older guys, a lot of beat up guys. Don't know if they're going to be able to stay the same defensively. And then you look at the Bucks. Yeah, they look pretty good on paper on the offense side of the ball. Defense side of the ball, they got some good players. So I just don't see how you see 7 wins with this Atlanta Falcons with this Atlanta Falcon team, especially when you have the upgrade and the edge guys. I just don't see it. And one of the things too, again, why I started this is because the Falcons have a quarterback. They got 2 quarterbacks. Right now, you got Michael Penix, and if he lives up to the height of what he can be, the Falcons are going to be that much more dangerous. This offense is going to be completely different. I don't know why people think this offense is going to be the same, because it's not. So 7 wins is very disrespectful. I'm giving the Atlanta Falcons 9 wins just on the talent in its own. Now, depending on how Raheem and Jeff Ulbrich and offensive coordinator Zach Robinson, how they improve as coaches, this team can easily be a 13-win game with this roster. Easy. That's incredibly disrespectful to even mention 7 wins with this roster, because our coaching staff has improved. But yeah, that's why that I started this live, is because people up here, going down memory lane when you got Michael Penix Jr. right here in your face. Me personally, I'm like, yeah, Michael Vick is a legend, but dude, you should be coming up with articles and topics around Michael Penix and Drake London. Those guys being a duo, Mooney being a duo, Bijan Robinson being a duo, Tyler Allgeier, like you should be coming up with that. But no, you talking about some crap that we about 20 years ago. Like, man, don't nobody care about no damn Vic. This is the season now. This is 2025. The hell with Vic. To hell with him right now. That's incredibly disrespectful. 91 team of the code for modern teams today. All that team was missing was a yeah, Jerome. Like I said, man, this Falcons, like, I don't understand. If people go back and really study this Atlanta Falcons team, this is one of the most influential organizations in NFL history. Everything that you see that is popular today, the Falcons already did it. The 3-4, the 4, like the grits blitz and being aggressive on and physical defensively, they've done it. High-powered passing offense, they've done it. The high-powered running offense, the Falcons, they have done everything, and they've been influential in doing it. Teams wasn't really doing the Michael Vick, Dunn, and Duckett, Ovi Muhaley, Bobby Christian, like they wasn't doing all that shit. Like the Falcons did. The Falcons did all that shit. But they don't get the credit for it. Glanville was the father of the 4-6 June. Mount David had the run and shoot. And like I said, the run and shoot, look, it's a version of their spread offense of what we're seeing. The spread offense is pretty much the version the spread offense and run and shoot for the most part, 4 or 5 wide receivers on the field all the time. You see that. Falcons been doing it. What we're seeing with quarterbacks now, and these quarterbacks staying in the shotgun for the most part, the Falcons were doing that. That's why a guy like Brett Favre was drafted by the Atlanta Falcons 2nd round, because he had that ability to not only move around, but he can sling that thing in that spread offense. So the Falcons was already doing this type of stuff. But Gabriel, I think soon as Michael Penix start running around, this whole city gonna lose their damn mind, and mark my words. Soon as you start rushing for touchdowns, I mark my fucking words, this city is going to go insane, because people have it in their head that he's just a pocket quarterback, and that's not what Michael Penix is. He's a combination of both of those guys, and this is why you got to have both of those guys in here so they can give him aspects of each other's game. If he makes Vic and Matt DNA, Penix is the creation. That's it. That's all he is, bro. I don't understand why Falcons media is not intrigued by this dude. We saw last year in a 3-game span where this dude looked like Mike Vick on the sideline running in the end zone for a touchdown. What more do y'all need? He's already shown you that he can be Mike Vick. He's already shown you that he can be Matt Ryan. He can throw it with precision. He can throw it with power like Vick. He can run like Vick. He can move in the pocket. He can stand in the pocket and deliver. This dude is a leader already. He's willing to curse out and get on the bad side of his own coaches. He's already doing it. But the national media, the 92-90 games, their head still up the booty hole of Mike Vick. This dude has already shown what he's capable of, but nobody cares. Why? Because he don't have goddamn diamond earrings in each ear. He ain't driving a damn Ferrari, damn Buckhead. He ain't dating Cardi B. He ain't hanging out with Gucci Man and them at the club. That's the reason why y'all don't give a damn about Michael Penix. He's a guy that loves football and don't like entertainment, and y'all despise it. It's not exciting enough for you guys. Sorry. Just gotta be honest. It's not exciting enough for you guys, so that's why you don't. That's why you despise. That's why you don't want to cover. That's why these guys are not covering. And I'm not talking about fans in this instance. I'm talking about the national media. This is why they're not covering Michael Penix, and that's why they're not putting any in. This is the first time the Atlanta Falcons got a starting quarterback. You draft in the first round, and the media don't give a flying freak about Michael Penix. Nobody cares. And Falcon fan we gotta call these media guys out. They are hip. I saw the press conference yesterday. They had about 10 damn questions lined up about Kirk Cousins. They had about 10 freaking questions about Kirk Cousins. You got Michael Penix Jr., one of the best college players in the damn game. Went to the net, went toe to toe with Michigan. And the media don't care. A number 8 overall pick, and the media doesn't care. What does it take? Does he got to get a baby mama like Travis? Does he got to marry a girl like Travis Hunt? That Leanne girl? Does he have to do that in order to get national media attention? Does he got to go on a date with a sexy red? Do he got to do any of that? Because it seemed like it. They still got Justin Fields as a legend and Penix Jr. as an average quarterback. I'm calling out ESPN for thinking that team is mediocre. Like I said, man, Jay, those questions with Kirk Cousins really got very annoying, and I know Raheem was upset. That shit, it made me angry. We're in minicamp, bro, and you asking all these freaking questions about Kirk. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Can we talk about Pierce? Can we talk about Walker? Let's talk about Leonard Floyd. Let's talk about Mooney, Drake. Those guys going to be up their game because I think those guys are going to be much more effective with Penix at quarterback. This is my opinion. But no, y'all wanted to focus on the drama, media guys. Y'all say y'all want the team to improve, but that same Mark Zeno, what he was asking, where the hell he was? Where's the Mark Zenos and all these guys that say they just want to ask questions that the fans want to know? We don't want to know about no damn Kirk Cousins. We've already heard a billion things about Kirk Cousins. We know he's going to be here and he ain't going to be traded for at least the foreseeable future. So we got to deal with what we got. Stop asking a billion freaking questions about Kurt. Let's get to talking about Michael Penix. Let's talk about Drake. Let's talk about Tyler and his contract. Let's talk about Bijan Robinson. Kyle Pitts. No, you guys want to talk about freaking Kirk Cousins. Bro, Keyshawn, a backup quarterback getting more media coverage. Are you kidding me, bro? And And like I said, man, all it takes for Michael Penix to move around in the pocket and showcase that he has the ability to run. And you're going to see the change in his media. Mark my freaking words. Okay? June 11th. Soon as Michael Penix showcase his skills, watch what I tell you. Showing that he showcases his ability to move around and run the ball, watch the media start losing their freaking mind. I heard Aaron Freeman and Jarvis say they have to ask those questions. Like, no, no, you have to ask those questions because your boss tell you what to do. These guys are actually, you don't have to ask those questions. You can ask professional questions. You ask those questions because you want drama, okay? Don't let these Aaron Freemans, and no disrespect, because I listen to Locked On podcast myself. But don't let them say you that bullshit about you have to ask them damn questions. You don't have to ask those questions. You just doing what your boss tell you to do because your boss wants drama. Your boss want you to ask a question that irks Raheem a certain way, and then he end up saying some crazy stuff about Kirk Cousins. That's why you asking them questions. You're not asking them questions because you really intrigued and trying to see where the Atlanta Falcons and who is growing in the Atlanta Falcons. You're not asking those questions. They asking them damn questions so they can try to get some freaking drama started. That's why they asking them they're not asking them questions because they really want to know. They're trying to irk Raheem, and this is what Raheem has to do. He just got to keep it simple. Kirk Cousins is our backup. We really like him as our backup, but Michael Penix, we really excited about it. So anytime they say anything about Kirk Cousins, repeat the same thing. Michael Penix is our guy, and I really have all the faith and all the faith in him to be to take us to another level. And Kirk Cousins is our backup, and if we need him, we got a great guy that we can call upon. That's it. But y'all want to keep asking the same questions over and over and over again. They try to irk somebody, see, oh man, we already trading him. We think we already got him. Y'all trying to get moments. They asking these questions to try to piss Raheem off. So all Raheem has to do is just repeat the same things over and over again. I'm telling you, this how you deal with media guys. Just say the same stuff over and over again. Give them the same answer. They're going to stop answering. Dread it. That's it. Feed them back the bullshit. That's it. Like, look, like I said, man, I ain't got no, because I know quite a few people who work for that Locked On, but they saying that Aaron Freeman and those guys over there, they say that because they are looking for drama. Okay, that's why they are. Look, those guys are programmed to say those types of things. You got to ask those questions because that's what their boss is looking for. Okay. Real Falcons fan want to know what James Pierce is talking about. What he doing? How is he progressing as an edge guy? Is it him or Walker that's progressing faster? Like, that's what Falcon fans want to know. Media people. The media wants to talk about Kirk Cousins because they want to highlight. They want a headline. See, this is the reason why they don't really like us. It's because we call out their media tactics, okay? One thing I tell y'all, look, you don't have to like what I say and how I say it, but Atlanta Falcons Nation, we're going to give you exactly what you need to hear. as a fan. So when you see this bull crap, guess what's going to happen? You're going to be prepared for it. You know exactly what they're doing. They're going to keep on asking Raheem about Kurt until something is said, until something go out. And then the next news, Kirk Cousins said he's not showing up because he heard that they was trying to trade him to Tennessee or whoever the case may be. And the media going to be right back to ask him 10 more questions about it. Soon as the next rumor get up. So I want to know how Brian is doing. Like, yeah, man, like this is what Falcons fan want to know. This is what we know, but this is our jobs. Okay? We are an extension of the media, okay? Make no mistake about it. You see a lot of these content creators, Falcons, all around YouTube, podcast, we're an extension of the media. We are the media, but we're not bound to our bosses. So we can give y'all the real. So I don't think that a lot of these people that see as content creators don't have sources, because we do have sources. Okay? We do have sources, and we do have people that are connected to the organization that we've had conversations with, that we still have conversation with, so we can tell y'all what. Oh, it's a lot of us that have connections to it, so don't get it twisted. But those guys, Bo Nix, that's the guy I was thinking about. Good, thanks, John. But this is the thing, man. Like I said, man. Like, look, the ESPN and a lot of these corporations, and I'm talking about corporations that own a franchise or franchises, whether it's a media company, the ESPNs, the Fox of the world, they're trying to get headlines. They're not interested in giving people a lot of truth. Not to say that they don't have content creators that are out here giving people those things, but those people that are giving people truth aren't really well known like that, because they get outshined and outshadowed by the Adam Schefters of the world, because Adam Schefter is only here. His job is to give you the highlights, the headlines. That's what his job is. The identity of the team for Raheem. I mean, the identity isn't in question for me personally. It's consistency. Like, obviously, he wants to have a defense where he uses his athleticism a lot more up front. So he wants athletic guys. He wants big athletic guys and guys that can play multiple spots and positions. So it's kind of like the Georgia Bulldogs and Kirby Smart. He wants a big physical guy that can get after it. And they have a damn good secondary. So just think of Raheem's defense and what he's trying to build is almost like the Georgia Bulldogs, to be honest. If I'm just being perfectly honest, he's trying to turn the Atlanta Falcons into the Georgia Bulldogs. And what I mean by the Georgia Bulldogs, these guys want constant, you want all the athletes up front. I don't think there's a more athletic front group of guys in college football outside of Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan. Like, those four schools are going to have some of the best athletes. That's what Raheem is trying to create. I see what he's trying to do, but his ego and trying to force that that soft zone, that soft crap, it's just not happening. That's what's getting in his way, and obviously, him improving situational things during the game. So that has to improve. So I understand what Raheem is doing. I see what he's doing. The offense in itself, he wants to be explosive. He wants to push the ball downfield. So I get it, but when you say that's what you want and you do the complete opposite, it's hard for people to take you seriously. And that's where my problem lies with Raheem. I see what he's doing, but he'll go away from what he says he's going to do. So it's been, yeah, I do remember that, John. Portland State, yep, I remember that. So Jerry Glanville has always been one of those guys in football where he's like, that dude is I don't think people realize, like I said, one of the most disrespected coaches in the NFL history is Jerry Glanville. This dude has offensively, he knows the game. But since I'm gonna just be real about this, he was coaching in a time where it wasn't popular to back up a lot of black athletes. Just gotta be real about it. It wasn't popular in the 70s and 80s to back up guys like Deion Sanders who wore gold chains and things of that nature. Jerry Glanville, June Jones, those guys backed up a lot of players, a lot of black athletes, and it wasn't popular then. It wasn't as accepted then that it is now. And I think that's one of the major reasons why a lot of coaches just never gave him respect. Jerry Glanville was a visionary. He was way ahead of his time. He understood what the fans want. He understood about how to build a team and make it exciting and make it tough. He understood that. He was way ahead of his time. What about this year's defense you're excited about? Jalen Walker. Yep. As Sam might say, look, I got my red and black super thongs on for Jalen Walker. I think this dude gonna be a fucking star, man. He fits exactly what this Atlanta Falcons defense needs. Like Sam always say, y'all Vic fans got y'all red and black thongs on. Well, I got my thongs on for Jalen Walker because I think this dude gonna be a fucking star. He's already showing in camp that he can get around that edge, and I know he can play linebacker. I know he can play each side of the line. I'm so excited about Jalen Walker. I'm excited about James Pierce, but I'm so excited about those edge guys. The athleticism that we need, I think both of those guys exhibit both of those. So, man, Jalen Walker really got me excited. He really does. I'm just going to be honest. He's the one that really, because the thing is with that, if the Falcon can get a consistent edge rusher, either it's Walker or Pierce Jr., Trice, Leonard Floyd, this defense is already better. We need consistency. I know that a guy like Honor Ebiketie can do what he can do. I know Ebiketie can do what he can do. He'll give you 5 to 7, probably 5 to 7 sacks a year with his abilities. Trice is another one of those guys. I know what Leonard Floyd can do. But if we get Jalen Walker and Pierce to do their thing, yeah, that's what I'm really excited about. You got people saying that Penix could be benched at the beginning of the season. No, that won't happen. Yeah, that's headlines because they want. That's what I was saying about a lot of these guys that work for these corporations. You know, like I said, I look at Locked On. I've had quite a few of the Locked On guys on the Heavy Hitter show, so we do interviews with the guys. So there's no disrespect to them, but these guys are asked to be corporate. That's what they've asked. That's their job, to be corporate, to do what their boss tells them to do. Okay, they're asked to do what their boss tells them to do, and their boss want headlines. So headlines is what matters most. Not to say they don't have quality content, but when you work for corporations, a corporation wants headlines. They don't care how they get it. They don't care how you do it. Give me headlines. That's what they do. So when you say something, when they say things like Michael Penix bench for Kirk Cousins, well, that's a headline that they want. I don't think we'll see much of anything from Michael Penix in preseasons. I think it'll be more Kirk Cousins and Easton Stick, to be honest. Because I think Kirk Cousins, for me, I think he has to show that he can still play. I think he's auditioning for another starting position or a potential trade, because a lot of people are still wondering, because he opened his stupid mouth about being injured. A lot of people are skeptical about what he can do physically now. So now he has to play in preseason to show that he can still do it. I still think Kirk can do it, but he should have shut his damn mouth. He didn't do himself any favors by coming out and telling because he wanted to screw it to the Atlanta Falcons. That's the real reason why he did. He wanted to screw Terry and Raheem for bringing in Michael Penix, and he ended up screwing himself by opening his damn mouth. He should have said nothing about an injury. Now teams won't trade for you, and they're not willing to spend the money in because you said you were rehabbing your shoulder. You said that. So Danny Cannell, right, for one, look, people in the whole universe don't forget about you. That's why I said they get these football players. See, this is what the national media is. So they try to get guys that played football. They weren't very good. We see it with Kurt Benkert. Like Kurt Benkert try to act like he's one of the smartest football players. He tried to act like he's the smartest, and he ended up saying a whole bunch of dumb stuff that don't happen. But because you was a football player and you played with this team, you played with the Atlanta Falcons, so people come in and ask you questions about the Atlanta Falcons. You don't really know Michael Penix or the organization or a lot of people in the organization anymore. You sit up here and say things because you once played with the Atlanta Falcons. Everybody, from what I hear about Braylon Trice, he's just on the most of the guy that had injuries going into last part of last year. It's not necessarily rehabbing. It is kind of rehabbing, but what it is, these guys are just being cautious with them, going into the season because, like Falcons are going to need Braylon Trice. I think they pick and choose when they want to be corporate. Freeman wasn't too excited when we got Jalen Walker. He downplayed the move. Most fans loved it, and I bet his bosses did too, but he chose not to. Well, Aaron Freeman always been a weird motherfucker, and a lot of times he don't know what the fuck he be saying a whole bunch of stuff, but he don't know what the fuck he be talking about. I would say a lot of the time. like he gets more wrong than he does get right, and he has the right intentions. But a lot of stuff, Aaron Freeman be like, yeah, if you don't think that Jalen Walker is a baller, look, I can't talk to you. Sorry. If you don't think Jalen Walker is a baller, you a fucking fool. Okay? Period. This dude is a football player. The end. James Pierce is a football player. The end. If you don't think those guys are ballers, if you don't think those guys are good, like I can't have a conversation with you. That's just me. I can't watch anything you say because you don't think Jalen Walker is a baller. You don't think Xavier Watts is a baller. You don't think Pierce is a baller. Bowman Jr. Like, you don't think these guys are baller? Ain't nothing I can talk. I can and will not have a conversation with you. So I like this roster. See, the thing, this is what a lot of people do. They look at individual players and they don't look at the entire roster. Well, we don't need Jalen Walker to be a mega star. We just need him to be an added piece to the defense. That's how I'm looking at it. Because he can play linebacker. He can play edge. He can do all of that. He's the perfect fit to Raheem's defense. And then you got Pierce. We just need him to do one thing, get after the quarterback. When we need you to get after the quarterback, come in, get after the quarterback. The same goes with Braylon. We don't need him to be a superstar edge and playing 4-3 down. Like, we don't need him to do that. We need them to do their job and do that job well. I'm not looking at these guys to be megastars, and this is the thing that I have. This is the exact same issue, and Raheem kind of went over this also in regards to Kyle Pitts. He kind of alluded to this. People just looked at him as a number 4 overall pick, and you just assume because he's a number 1 overall pick that he was supposed to have X amount of numbers, even though he had 600-700 yards receiving. That's not enough for some people. Why? Because he was a number 4 overall pick. You're disregarding the fact that he's a tight end. The best tight end, one of the best tight ends in the game last year, had 1 touchdown, and that's Travis Kelce. Nobody's saying he's trash, but Kyle Pitts doesn't have great numbers. Everybody ready to throw him in the fucking trash. So this is where the consistency is. And that's why I say it's like, if you stop looking at these guys for their individual talent, thinking these guys are going to be mega stars instead of being pieces of a puzzle. The thing is, building a defense is about building pieces to the puzzle. You got this guy to do this and this guy to do that. The secondary is much deeper. Like, we got Helms, Watts, Bowman, Bates, Fuller. Like, the Falcons so deep. Bryant, Phillips, D. Alford, Terrell. Like, this is a deep secondary. The Falcons have did a wonderful job. Raheem Terry have done a wonderful job making this team. So, like, when I hear guys like Aaron Freeman say, well, I wasn't too excited about the pick, is because you're looking at them as a individual, as a star, instead of a piece of a puzzle. You look at the pieces of the puzzle and where they can fit with a team. This is why I'm excited about a guy like Jalen Walker, because he can be that Caden Ellis. Caden Ellis is a guy, you can put him anywhere on that field. The same thing with a Jalen Walker. Now you got 2 guys on the defense side of the ball. You can put those guys in coverage at times. And I mean, Caden Ellis at times, but you can now put Walker in coverage at times. You got Divine Diablo, another one of those guys. You look at him as an overall prospect and say, nah, he ain't no superstar linebacker. But if you look at him and say, all right, I need this guy to be fast, I need him to blitz, and I need him to cover. Well, he can do that. He can cover a lot better than Caden Ellis. So he's a piece of a puzzle. So I don't look at players like everybody else. And I think this is what a lot of these creators do. They just look at these guys as individual talent and say, well, I don't like the pick. Well, I love the pick. I love it. I love what the Atlanta Falcons have done. So, like I said, with that being said, man, like I said, continue to support you out here, man. Mike Sports, more NFL content going around, as well as Atlanta Falcons wrestling. That's all I got to say about that. But hey, man, it's all good. Diablo is a very good guy, for what I'm saying. He's a leader. That's why I said this Falcon defense has improved. I don't expect Raheem defense to stay where it was. I actually expect his defense to be much improved and him to be much improved a much improved coach. Despite what a lot of people may think about Raheem, about my feelings about Raheem, which I really don't give a flying you-know-what anyway. I just speak my mind and what I need and what I see out of said coach. And I'm not going to back down until he shows me otherwise. I believe in the talent that Terry got this season, but if they don't work out, do we cut Terry or is Coach Morris? Because no, man, look, it's patience. I'm not firing any guy. I'm not firing any of these guys because I think Terry Fontenot did a wonderful job. Kyle Smith is another one of those guys, a strong part of that Falcons front office that helped bring in talent along with Jerry Gray. Raheem, despite what people may think I feel about Raheem, I've never once said they need to fire him. But he needs to improve. And he has not shown throughout his resume that he is consistent. That's it. Just improve. I don't think the answer to the Atlanta Falcons is firing general managers and firing coaches every 2 to 3 years. That's not going to help build the team. So I don't think if the Falcons end up, 8-9 or 9-8 and, barely missing the playoffs or they get in the playoffs, look, you just got to go. Look, you just got to, in my opinion, I think you just got to be smart about it and just be patient. And I know Falcon fans are going to want somebody head on the swivel, but I don't think you should do that. I don't think you should just go around just firing guys because, they're 8-8, 9-8, and they barely missed the playoffs. As long as we see improvement, that's what I'm focused on. I just want to see improvement with the coaching staff, not the roster. Because you can bring in all the talent all you want to, but if you don't have the right coaches in the right positions to get the best out of them, play calling wise, development wise, it's just a bunch of guys on the roster. But yeah, Gabriel, that bad stretch with Kirk Cousins, I don't think it was Kirk Cousins' fault at the end of the day. Kirk should have said, I was hurt and he should have sat down. But that mistake is on Raheem. That bad stretch is all on Raheem. The end. And now everybody can argue that all they want to. You'll be talking to a brick fucking wall when it come down to me, because I ain't trying to hear that shit. Coaches coach, players play, but when the player is hurt, that coach gotta be honest with himself. Yeah, my dude ain't playing, and not keep him in and keep running the same system over and over again because you think he gonna get it together. No, he wasn't getting it together. He was playing worse and worse, and you just watched it. Like I said, John, that's exactly it. That bad stretch on Kirk was not Kirk, because all he had to do was just rely on the running game, and that Kirk checked the ball down. We saw he couldn't throw the ball deep, but they kept running the same system and the same scheme over and over and over again. Like, that dude wasn't hurt. He was clearly hurt. That's on Raheem. That's not on Kurt. That's all on Raheem. You need to force him down. If you know he hurt and Kurt ain't saying it, he ain't being honest, you got to use your eye. Your eye. You know how people say that eye test? You got to use your eyes. Got to use your eyes in that situation and say, yep. Nah. This guy ain't hurt. I'm going to sit him down for the rook. So that's all on Kurt. So with that being said, man, continue to support your boy here, man. Mike Sports, Atlanta Falcons Nation, the heavy hitters, unholy alliance. That's all I got to say about that. Hit that subscribe button. Tell your friends to come chat Falcons football, NFL football, wrestling with your boy, man, Mike. Appreciate it. Peace.